Welcome back to another edition of the Optimized Weekly Market Recap. I'm David Ferreira, and as always for today's recap, we'll take a look at last week's activity in the markets, as well as what we're watching for in the week ahead. After bouncing around all week, markets finished the week roughly flat, maintaining record highs. TSX broke fresh ground, up over 50 basis points on the week. The Dow finished the week down only 2 basis points. The S&P finished the week down 13 basis points, and the Nasdaq finished the week down 70 basis points. Looking at sector performance, materials and energy were on top for the week, while real estate and consumer discretionary were certainly the weakest performing sectors last week. Looking at the events from last week, the key data among last week's release was the CPI inflation numbers. Delving into the details, the CPI report showed that both monthly and annual headline inflation accelerated in February, largely reflecting a rise in gas and shelter prices. Markets took the reports in stride, with most major stock indices closing the day higher after the release. Retail sales data also played an important factor in last week's market performance, where we saw a 0.6% month-over-month gain in February's retail sales after a sizable pullback in January. And while retail sales growth flipped back to positive territory, it was slightly lower than market expectations of 0.8%, but overall the data suggests that consumers still have the ability to spend despite higher prices. And in Canada, last week brought forward several important data releases, including the national balance sheet and financial flow accounts for the fourth quarter. This showed that Canadian household net worth grew by $290 billion. This uptick showed wealth growth was back into positive territory for Q4 and highlighted the resilience of the Canadian consumer. Now we have a big week ahead of us with some major data releases, so all eyes will be on the Federal Reserve's monetary policy meeting. And while the Fed is widely expected to leave interest rates unchanged at 5.5%, it will still be interesting to see the guidance it offers for the year ahead. In Canada, CPI data will be released for the month of February, with gas prices likely playing a factor in the headline figure. And for key corporate data this week, we're watching for earnings results from FedEx and Nike, and keeping a close eye on NVIDIA's investor conference this week as well. Certainly no shortage of excitement in the markets last week, with more to come in the week ahead. As always, thank you for watching, and see you soon.